It's time now for another harvest update with our friends at Brevant Seeds. Joining us this week, Amanda Roth, Area Business Development Manager with Brevant Seeds, here to talk about soybean harvest. And Amanda, first off, thanks so much for joining us here on Market Talk this week. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jesse.
All right, let's talk about soybean harvest. And what are you hearing? As I know we're over the halfway mark, we're trying to get to the finish line here across much of the Corn Belt. What's the latest you are hearing as far as how soybean harvest is going so far here this fall, Amanda?
Well, so far it's kind of across the board. It depends on what part of the world you're hit and how much rain you got and at the right time. You know, the general consensus that I'm getting across the countryside is we're anywhere from 75 to 80% done, depending on where you're at. Some of the general trends that I've heard is we've got, early beans that were planted later tend to be the winners this year. They look like they maybe hit some more rains and maybe got less stress than some of the other maturities. And if you would look at a window of where the maturity would be at, the earlier ones were tending to hit a little bit better. But the yield part, it's from 7 to 70. It just depends on if you caught the rain or not at the right time.
And with that variability, are you hearing better results, say, in the Western Corn Belt versus the Eastern Corn Belt? Is that making a difference, or is it, again, just back to who got rain and who didn't, Amanda?
It is. It's back to who got the rain, who didn't, who was able to hit those windows where maybe beans weren't stressed quite so much right away, or they might have finished out before we had some of this late summer stress. So it's variable even in a 10-mile radius.
Very true. Very true. And, outside of the drought stress and who caught rain and whatnot, I didn't hear much in the way of pest or disease pressure. We had our usual suspects out there this growing season, but overall, outside of the drought stress, it sounds like it's been a pretty healthy growing season. Was that kind of the assessment you got with talking from folks on the Brevant team and farmers across the country?
Yeah, that's pretty fair. The one thing that kind of seems to keep poking its head back up is the talk about soybean cyst nematode again. That's been one where, we maybe thought that we didn't have quite as much out there as originally thought. People are doing some testing, realizing that they have way more out there than they anticipated. And it's created a good talk for us as we're moving in the direction of our new genetics. And we've got some Peking soybean cyst nematode resistance. So that's been one that has been talked about quite a bit lately, and moving in that direction and being able to bring a nice new offer to our producers.
Well, thinking about the new offerings like that Peking varieties from Brevant and much more, I'm sure as growers are wrapping up harvest here, if they have questions, if they want to take a look at products for next year and more, I'm sure going online, Brevant.com, contacting their local retailer, retail agronomist, a lot of different ways to get in touch and learn more, isn't there, Amanda?
Absolutely. And not only talking with your local retailer, go on Brevant.com, but we have a fantastic group of individuals that run our social media with X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook. We do have a great posting of a lot of good products and yield results as they come in. So please check those out.
Fantastic. With that, Amanda Roth, Area Business Development Manager with Brevant Seeds. Thank you for joining us here this week. And I know we'll talk to you next week about seed selection. But for now, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Jesse.